the noise of the world today, distraction has become a constant companion. It doesn't knock at the door. It slips in silently, through your phone screen, the next video, the constant ping of a message, or even the never-ending to-do list. And before you know it, your day is gone, but you don't feel fulfilled. In fact, you feel more tired, more scattered, and oddly, more alone. Let me tell you a story. There was once a young sculptor named Veer, who lived in a quiet town surrounded by hills and forests. Veer was known for creating lifelike statues that seemed to breathe. People from neighboring villages would come to admire his work, so full of detail, so full of soul. But then, one year, something changed. Veer stopped finishing his statues. He would begin with passion, chisel out the face, the torso, and then leave the rest. Not because he didn't have time, but because something else always pulled him away. A visitor, a festival, a new idea, a half-read book, a neighbor calling him for help. Slowly, Veer's workshop filled with incomplete figures, arms missing, legs undone, hollow eyes staring back at him. He knew something was wrong, but he didn't know what. One evening, an old traveler visited Veer's workshop. He walked around, silently studying the half-made statues. Then he turned to Veer and asked, "Why are none of them complete?" Veer sighed. "Because life keeps calling me away." The traveler smiled gently. "Then maybe it's not life. Maybe it's your fear of standing still." Those words struck something deep inside Veer. That night he sat in his workshop, staring at the broken faces around him. It wasn't that he didn't have time. It wasn't even about the distractions outside. It was the storm inside, the discomfort of silence, the itch to escape, the fear of confronting his own thoughts. This is what distraction does. It dresses up as entertainment, urgency, or even productivity. But its real mission, to pull you away from yourself. Distraction doesn't only waste time, it erodes attention. It chips away at your ability to think deeply, to sit with discomfort, to grow. It makes you a stranger to your own inner world. You scroll through hundreds of videos, but forget what you were looking for in the first place. You start 10 tasks, but finish none. You talk to people, but feel unseen. You live every day, but you don't feel alive. Think about it. When was the last time you sat alone, without music, without your phone, just you, breathing, thinking, observing? Most people can't do it for more than a few minutes. It feels unbearable. So we run. We run into noise, into movement, into screens, into endless tabs and apps. But the cost of this running is huge. When your mind is always scattered, you begin to forget how to go deep into a problem, a relationship, a passion. You lose the ability to focus, to finish, to flourish. You become restless, always looking for the next hit of stimulation. And worse, you begin to lose the sense of who you are. Distraction disconnects you from your purpose, from your dreams, from your real emotions. You laugh at a meme, but deep down you're tired. You reply, "Ha-ha," to a friend, but inside you're longing for silence. You keep running, but you're not sure where. And this invisible pull away from your inner self, is how distraction quietly ruins your life. But there's hope. Veer, the sculptor, took a decision. He started with just 30 minutes a day. He locked his door, turned off all distractions, and returned to one statue. Just one. He allowed himself to be bored, to feel the resistance, to notice the craving to check outside. But he stayed, with the silence, with the stone, with himself. And something incredible happened. Slowly, his mind began to settle. His hands remembered the rhythm. His breath aligned with his strokes. And after weeks, for the first time in years, a statue stood completed in his workshop. The villagers were amazed. The same hands, the same tools, but a different presence, a different power. Because Veer had returned to the one thing that distraction had stolen, his inner stillness. You see, the answer to distraction isn't more discipline. It's more awareness. It's not about deleting apps or throwing away your phone. It's about recognizing that most distraction is a response to inner discomfort. The discomfort of not knowing what to do. The discomfort of facing your emotions. The discomfort of silence. But discomfort isn't your enemy. It's your doorway. When you sit with your discomfort, you start to hear your own voice again. The one beneath the noise. The one that remembers your dreams, your desires, your truth. Start small. Spend 10 minutes a day in silence. Write in a journal. Reflect. Meditate. Go for a walk without your phone. Watch your cravings to escape. Don't judge them, just watch. That's how awareness grows. That's how your mind begins to quiet down. And in that quiet, you'll start to feel something rise again. Clarity. Clarity about what matters. Clarity about where you're going. Clarity about who you are. So the next time you feel pulled in 20 directions, ask yourself, what am I running from? Because when you stop running, you might just find that the emptiness you fear is actually the space where your best self has been waiting all along. Return to it, reclaim it, one quiet moment at a time.